So a couple days ago, we passed the 3-month mark since the Oculus Quest release. And as weird as it sounds, it's been a good ride. It's been a quick 3 months. It really doesn't seem like that long ago that we were all losing our collective minds, waiting for the Quest countdown to begin or end, however you count that. The Quest countdown with no official date or time we're counting down to, no release date. We all were having fun with it though. Honestly, it was never a better time to be a Best Buy employee either. Best Buy employees were the hot commodity trying to get some inside information on whether it was dropping today, tomorrow, or in the future. But either way, for all the craziness that happened during the Quest countdown and people losing their collective minds, it was exciting. It was fun, and I think it was one of the most healthy things that ever happened to VR because it really got just everybody excited about VR. And then on May 21st, 2019, the Oculus Quest released. And honestly, the reviews that came out I thought were great. I thought they were very fair. Everyone was giving, I think, appropriate scores, appropriate cons, appropriate pros. They were good reviews, except for that one guy who was playing out in the open with it and talking out his butthole. But besides that guy, I thought the Quest reception was just fantastic. But now, we're 3 months later. And the point of this video, the point that I want to pitch to you guys before we start, is how are you using your Quest right now? If you have one, what's your perceptions on it now compared to when you bought it? And if you don't have one, well, compared to when it was getting all the hype and now, has your mind changed at all? Because I want to go over my 3-month review and not a review of the specs. We know that it is what it is. The Quest has the same hardware, the software has been upgraded, but I'm not going to review the Quest itself. I'm going to be reviewing how it is changed between release to now. With my ultimate thoughts, I'm going to let you know, especially at the end of this, how I'm using my Quest, because I think you may be a little surprised. I'll get to that, but I want to talk about how I'm using my Quest right now. Let's jump right into the pros, and I got 3 pros on how the Quest has just evolved since it came out to the time of now. And that first one is the software and hardware itself has surpassed, I think, a lot of people's expectations. From day one, this software has dramatically improved. We now can use both our controllers as pointers. The 3 degrees freedom mode in the dark is now available. The tracking has been tremendously upgraded to the point where occlusion, honestly, sometimes when I'm putting it around my head, I am surprised before how far behind my head I can go before I even slightly lose tracking. No blowing smoke here up Oculus here. If you disagree that the tracking is greatly improved, I don't know what unit you're playing, but this headset has tremendously exceeded my expectations on what it could do tracking wise for inside out tracking, which I think is the future where VR is going. As much as I have my index and have my lighthouses around my room, I like it right now, but I understand where we're going. It is going to be inside out tracking. That's ultimately where we're going. But I cannot get over how well it has just been adjusted, the software, and how the hardware has exceeded my expectations, especially like on games like Red Matter, even Vader Immortal to a degree. The first VR game I picked up on Oculus Quest, I immediately, coming from PC VR, noticed the graphics and the difference of that. Seeing though now, games like, I'll give Vader Immortal, it impressed me, and especially Red Matter. I didn't personally think the graphics were going to look that good in the Quest on some games. That is amazing. We can't talk about how the Oculus Quest has progressed as well without talking about side quests. Side quests is an amazing thing, and I've said it once, I've said it before, I've said it again, I'll say it again. The modding community can do more for games, more for a gaming console, for the longevity, replayability, and just overall purpose than anything else. Modders create a lot of replayability in between games like T for God, Crisis Brigade, the Beat Saber modifications on SideQuest. SideQuest has provided so much more value to the Oculus Quest than basically the Oculus Quest I think could have without it. So between the software being updated, the hardware exceeding my expectations, games way graphically superior than I ever thought they could, and SideQuest bringing so much more than just the Oculus Store can, between launch and now, just with those alone, the Oculus Quest is more valuable to anyone who has it or bought it now than it was at launch, and that is amazing. I think that is a huge pro and a selling point for the Oculus Quest. Now, a gray area. I do want to talk about this gray area. I'm not putting it as a con, but I want to put it as a gray area, and that's the game library. There are a lot of people who think there are not enough games. Right now, there are a lot of games for the Quest. I think there are enough games. That's why I'm putting this in the gray. I think there are plenty of games to play on the Oculus Quest. However, I think a lot of Quest users who may be first-time VR users, or they're VR enthusiasts, let's be honest, there are a lot of VR enthusiasts using them, are comparing it to PC VR. I get it. Compared to PC VR, there may not be as much longevity in some of these games. They're a lot shorter. But in reality, there's not that much on PC VR either. I think just as the current gaming scene is on VR, there are plenty of titles, but we are comparing them to consoles too much and expecting that experience. It's early in VR. We're just not going to get there yet. They're coming. I keep seeing more and more games that I keep playing longer and longer and having more fun with. I think there's enough games, but if we're going to be comparing them to console gaming, it's not there yet. And that's why people say, hey, the games aren't good. They're not there. There's not enough. There are plenty. It's just what VR has to offer right now is not what people expected. I think they expected it sometimes to be a little further than it is. That's why I'm putting it in the gray area. But here's the bad. I don't know if I want to say bad. I think it's ultimately directing how I'm using my Oculus Quest. My Oculus Quest is right there. It's been there for at least a month. I haven't touched it. It's just collecting dust. Why is that? It's not because it sucks. It's not because anything it did. It's because of one thing it's lacking that matters to me, and I think matters to a lot of people the more I talk about it. Multiplayer. It needs some type of multiplayer flagship game, in my opinion, that I can play, jump in, jump out, and play constantly. And no, I'm not talking about using the Quest with virtual desktop or anything like that, streaming games to it. It needs to be native. We need a game like Pavlov to be ready on the Quest natively, Onward natively, Echo natively. These games need to come out and they need to nail it. Those start coming out, I think the Quest, for me personally, will be used way more. I think then I'll start picking it up if I can go anywhere in my house and play a multiplayer game that works. But as it stands now, I want to play Pavlov. I want to play Contractors, Onward. I want to play online games. I want to play VR chat that has all the worlds. I get it. It's on the Quest, but it is lacking. It's lacking what it offers. I need a full game, a full online game native to the Quest that brings me back for more and more and more. And then maybe this thing will stop getting some cobwebs on it. I'd like to hear what you think though, compared to when it was released, compared to now. If you own it, are you happy with how it's progressed? If you don't own it, have you been paying attention, and do you think it's worth it now? Or is it about the same opinion you had when it came out? Let me know down in the comments. Please leave a like if you support this video, subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss an upload. I'm Eric for Present, and I'll see you next time, VR Space Cowboys.